Okay, so today we've got a really fascinating source. It's a deep dive into a review for a short film, just 14 minutes long, called The Greyness of Autumn.
Yeah, and looking at a film review might seem straightforward, but this one, well, it gives us a lot to unpack about storytelling in short films.
Definitely. It seems like a gold mine for how they, flip expectations.
Exactly. So our mission, really, is to look at this specific story and see how the filmmakers used pretty unique casting and character design choices.
To make a common story feel new again.
Precisely. I mean, job loss, heartbreak,
Yeah.
we've seen it a million times, right? But the way they did it here, according to the review, was anything but standard.
And with short films, the pressure is immense. 14 minutes, you absolutely have to grab the viewer, like instantly.
Oh, yeah. No time for a slow burn.
Yeah.
You need something strong right up front, a hook.
So how did this film manage it? The review seems impressed.
Well, this is the clever part. It wasn't some big visual thing initially. It was sound. Purely sound. Yeah, the review says the voice is the first draw. Like, before you even see the main character during the opening credits, you hear Danny's voice.
Danny, the main character.
Right, voiced by Duncan Early James. And it's described as deep, resonant, a really distinctive voice. You're already hooked by this sound.
Huh. So you're building a picture in your head probably of some serious, maybe weathered guy just from the audio?
Exactly. You establish that character, that feeling first. And that sets up the big surprise.
The surprise being?
Well, it's only after you're kind of invested in this voice, this internal world,
Yeah.
that you realize Danny, the guy with the deep voice, is an ostrich.
An ostrich, okay.
Yeah, an actual puppet ostrich.
So the reveal comes after the character's already been established through sound. That's clever.
It really is. It avoids being just a visual gag up front. You connect with the voice, the person, first. Then comes the paradox.
And you're already intrigued, so you accept the ostrich more easily.
That seems to be the idea. It creates instant buy-in. You've bought the emotion, now you have to buy the ostrich.
So Danny McGuire, the ostrich, works in a call center, trying to live a normal life.
Yeah, what the review calls on the level. Steady job, girlfriend, even an interesting flatmate. Seems okay.
But then things go wrong. The source mentions a conflict stack.
Right, it's not just one bad thing. It's like bang, bang. Two major blows hit him at pretty much the same time, and that's what sends him over the edge.
Okay, what are they?
First, the job. He gets made redundant. Classic corporate move. The whole office is being shifted to India.
Ugh. Brutal. But again, happening to an ostrich makes it different.
Definitely. And then, second blow. He goes to his girlfriend for comfort, presumably, and finds out she's met someone else, moved on.
Oh, wow. Redundant and dumped on the same day. It's the ultimate double whammy, isn't it? Feeling useless professionally and rejected personally all at once.
So how does the film handle his character through all this? I mean, he's a puppet.
Well, the review stresses he's actually very well drawn out. Despite being an ostrich puppet, he's smart, he's articulate. But there's something else the review mentions. His awareness of his own limitations.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It specifically mentions he knows he has no hands.
No hands. Why is that detail important? Seems kind of obvious for an ostrich.
I think it's about embodying his powerlessness,
Right.
A human losing their job can still, I don't know, make a fist, dial a phone easily, hug someone properly.
Right. Basic actions.
But Danny, the ostrich, is physically hampered. He can express his despair perfectly with that great voice, but he literally lacks the hands to, say, tear up the redundancy letter or even properly comfort himself.
Ah, okay. So his physical form, the ostrichness, isn't just a visual quirk. It actually reinforces his emotional state.
Exactly. It's a metaphor maybe for that feeling of being capable in your mind but completely stuck, unable to act when things fall apart. The puppet's limitations mirror his life's limitations.
That's actually quite profound. It makes the fantastical elements serve the emotional reality.
Yeah, it shows they really thought about why he's an ostrich. Beyond just the initial surprise, it deepens the tragedy.
Okay, let's talk about the world around Danny. If he's this sort of grounded, articulate ostrich in crisis, what about the others?
This is where it gets even more interesting, according to the review. The film mixes puppets and humans.
Right. You mentioned his flatmate.
Nelson, yeah. He's a monkey puppet. But everyone else, apart from Danny and Nelson, is human.
Okay.
But here's the twist the review highlights. The human characters are described as being more cartoon-like than the puppets.
Wait, the humans are more cartoonish than the monkey and the ostrich.
That's what it says. It kind of flips things, doesn't it? It suggests the puppets, the animals dealing with very real Human problems like depression and redundancy are maybe the most relatable, the most real characters in this setting.
While the humans are exaggerated and absurd.
Seems like it. It sets up a really unique tone.
So tell us more about Nelson the monkey, Danny's flatmate, played by Chris Quick.
Nelson sounds like the main source of comedy, a reality TV-loving monkey.
Okay, that paints a picture.
Yeah, the review says he provides frank and very funny comic relief. He's apparently easily distracted, likes a drink, gets into minor trouble, like noising up the pub landlord.
Standard comic relief stuff, maybe?
Sort of, but there's this intriguing detail the review picks up on. Nelson apparently has a backstory. A proper one.
A backstory for the comic relief monkey.
Yeah, and it was apparently detailed enough to explain why he had a weapon hidden in the house.
A weapon. Okay, Nelson the monkey is more complex than he sounds.
Right. The reviewer was so struck by this hint of depth that they suggested Nelson could have his own movie based on whatever that backstory is.
Wow, so even in a 14-minute film, they bothered to give the monkey sidekick a potentially dark, hidden history.
It seems so.
Right.
And the review sees it as a strength, suggesting it wasn't just tacked on.
But isn't that a risk? Distracting from Danny's story?
You'd think so, maybe. But maybe it just adds this layer of richness to the world. It makes Nelson feel like a real monkey with a past, not just a plot device for jokes.
It implies the writers knew more about him than they showed.
Exactly. That principle of knowing your characters deeply, even the side ones. Even the ones who love reality TV and annoy landlords.
Yeah.
It gives them weight.
So Nelson isn't just funny, he's potentially dangerous and has secrets. Interesting.
And this mix of the absurd and the grounded carries over to the human characters, too. The review mentions the quality of the supporting cast really matters.
Any standouts mentioned?
Yes, specifically a character named Jimmy Guinness, played by Andrew O'Donnell.
And what was special about him?
Well, the scene with him was apparently laugh-out-loud funny. So great performance, great writing there.
Good comedy is hard, especially in shorts.
Definitely. But here's another layer the review found interesting. The whole Jimmy Guinness storyline. It's based on a real person and a true story.
Get out. Really?
Yeah, so let's recap this weird mix.
Please do. My head's spinning a little.
We have an articulate ostrich puppet dealing with serious universal heartbreak and job loss.
Okay.
Living alongside a reality TV-loving monkey puppet with a secret, possibly violent past. And they interact with human characters who are just described as cartoonish, but whose specific bizarre behavior, in at least one case, is actually based on documented reality.
So the fantasy element, the ostrich, is the emotional anchor, the most realistic character emotionally, while the human world around him provides the documented, real-life absurdity.
That seems to be the dynamic. It constantly plays with your expectations of what's real, what's relatable, and what's just bizarre comedy. And it seems to work.
Okay, so pulling this all together then, what's the final verdict from the source material on The Greyness of Autumn? Why does it succeed as a short film?
The main conclusion is pretty clear. The execution is everything. The actual plot points getting fired, getting dumped are, let's face it, incredibly common.
Seen it 100 times.
Exactly. But the way they tell it using the ostrich angle, the specific characterizations, the blend of puppets and humans, the strong supporting cast, that's what makes it stand out. That's what makes it work.
And the writing gets specific praise.
Oh yeah, big time. The review says, the fact that there are more than a few memorable moments in just 14 minutes is a real testament to the quality of the writing.
That's high praise. Getting even one truly memorable moment in a short is an achievement.
Absolutely. So it points to really efficient, impactful storytelling.
And the overall tone?
It's described as a very nicely paced, bone-dry comedy, which sounds appealing. And the reviewer concludes that watching it is a splendid way to spend 14 minutes.
Can't ask for much more from a short film, really.
Pretty much nails it. And just for context, the review mentions it was doing the festival circuit at the time, places like the Loch Ness Film Festival and the Deep Fried Film Festival in Coatbridge.
Good for them. It sounds like it found its audience.
Seems like it deserved to.
So I guess the big takeaway for you listening is that sometimes the path to really effective storytelling isn't about inventing some completely new plot nobody's ever thought of.
Yeah, often it's not.
It's more about taking something universal, something we all recognize, like loss or disappointment, and finding a really specific, maybe even strange lens to view it through. Like, an articulate ostrich who knows he has no hands.
That specificity, that unexpected angle, is what can make the familiar feel completely fresh and engaging again.
Right. It wakes the audience up.
And that brings us to maybe a final thought for you to consider, something to mull over. Think about Nelson again, the monkey.
With the weapon and the secret past.
Yeah. The writer gave him that depth, that backstory, enough for his own potential movie, even though we barely glimpse it. So the question is, how much richness does it add, even to minor characters, when the writer just assumes they deserve that level of history?
Like treating every character as if they're the main character of their own story, even if we don't see it.
Exactly. Does every supporting figure need a secret history bubbling under the surface? Even if it never gets explicitly mentioned in the dialogue, does knowing it as a writer add a layer of truth, of weight, to the world you're building?
Yeah.
Something to think about.